तव कथामृतं तप्त जीवनम कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमंगलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः। After a gap of 2 weeks, we are meeting again to discuss about the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. This section appears in chapter 3. Under the 20th section of the third part of my original Bengali presentation, Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita. Part 3, Section 20, Chapter 3, dated 18th October 1885, chronologically presented in the English translation under Chapter 45. This appears in the second part of the Hindi rendering, Sri Ramakrishna Vachanamrit, Volume 2, under Chapter 122, Section 3. We have been reminded by Sri Ramakrishna our age-old goal of life. Whatever we may be doing, wherever we are, we should never forget the goal of this human existence. First of all, we should be always aware of our divine heritage. We must have self-respect, self-awareness that we are born to achieve something very great. What is that greatness? We are here to taste that bliss which has no bounds. Our real nature is bliss. Most of us have forgotten our real nature. Many would not even believe that this can be our nature, because most of us are suffering from various problems of life. Nevertheless, that does not compromise the truth The truth is, we are divine. Truth is, we are the children of immortal bliss. The truth is, bliss is our real nature. Satchidanand. Anandam Brahmeti Bhajanat. Though in reality we are far from that joy. First of all, we do not know what is Anand, what is Sukh. We are all after happiness, we are all after joy, we are all after pleasure, without knowing the definition of joy. First of all, that should be clarified. What are we after? हम लोग किसके तलाश में हैं? हम क्या चाहते हैं? Everybody will say we want Anand. Anand किसको कहलाता है? But to ask ourselves. The Upanishads tell us what is Anand. It tells us in the Mundaka Upanishad, यो वोई भूमा तत्सुखम नाल्पे सुखम अस्ति. What is Anand? That which is infinity, that is called Anand. If we are enjoying some pleasure and then it becomes over, then we are frustrated. That is not Anand. We must have that pleasure which does not end, which is unending. Anand must have 3 dimensions. आनंद का 3 लक्षण होना चाहिए. एक, यह अनंत होना चाहिए, अनएंडिंग. आनंद कभी खत्म नहीं होना चाहिए, जिसको आनंद कहलाता है. दुनिया में जो कुछ आनंद मिलता है वो बराबर टिकता नहीं. It has a limited life. After some time it ends. That is not Anand. Because it ends in frustration. आनंद का अभाव ही दुख है, आलोक का अभाव ही अंधकार है. So Anand must be nirantar, unending. Secondly, Anand must be enormous, without limit. असीम होना चाहिए, अपरिमित होना चाहिए. It should be infinity, it should be continuous, and it must not be mixed with grief. दुनिया में जितना आनंद मिलता है उसमें दुख मिलावट है. चक्रामत वर्तन्ति दुखानी च सुखानी च. सुख के बाद दुख होना अनिवार्य है. That is not Anand. Is it possible to have that Anand? Yes, very much. And we are born to realize, the taste that joy. That's what the call of our life. Doesn't matter what you are doing, continue to do whatever you are doing. Do your duties, do your studies, do your profession, but never forget that this is the principal goal of the life, to taste the joy which has no end, and it is an achievable target, provided you want to have it. Who does not want to have it? Everybody wants to have it. But you forget, you get compromised. That should not be done. So Ramakrishna is discussing that point here, that joy is termed in our scriptures as God. God is Anand Sarup. We want to realize God means we want to realize that joy which is present within. God, that source of their joy, is not sitting somewhere above the clouds. हम सोचते हैं भगवान को मिलना बहुत कठिन है, वो दूर में है. भगवान हमारे प्रत्येक के हृदय में विराजमान है. It is an irony of fate that joy which you are seeking is present within us in abundance quantity, but we are not aware. Mistake is ours. You have a huge bank balance lying and you are not aware. You have forgotten the password. You are not able to reach your own wealth. So Sri Ramakrishna is here to remind us, to let us know the password so that we can enjoy the tremendous bliss which is already within us. Now scriptures say God is present both within and without. ईश्वर भीतर में भी है, बाहर में भी है. So naturally our search is outside, because भीतर में तो कुछ दिखाई नहीं पड़ता है, बाहर में दुनिया दिखाई पड़ता है. When you search God outside, then you find that everything is changing. Pratikshan parivartanshil. So our search is to find that God which is changeless, who has hidden himself within this visible world. That is the job. God is present within and without, but he has made himself hidden. आपने को छिपा के रखा है. We have to find out, remove the curtain and see God face to face. So the process has been said, neti neti. You check everything in this world, the simple test whether it is permanent or temporary. Everything, one by one. Everything will fail the test. Nothing will stand before you saying that I am permanent, I am always with you. Everyone around us, everything around us is temporary, not permanent. So when you go on negating everything around us, ultimately what remains is that which does not change, and that is God. So that has been the traditional search of negating this world and arriving at God. Shankaracharya, the great Advaitin, the Adi Shankaracharya, the father of the Darshanami Sampradaya of Sannyasins, he has written many books, many treatises, Prasthanatraya, erudite scholar, Shivavatar Purush. But he has said, whatever I have written in so many books, I want to summarize the truth in half verse. Entire truth, entire message. Shlokardhena prabhakshyami जदुक्तम ग्रंथ कोटि भी, कोटि कोटि ग्रंथ में जो लिखा हुआ है वो मैं अर्ध श्लोक में बोलना चाहता हूँ. Half a verse. The half verse is this. Ardha shlok, not full verse. A part of the verse says what is after. Shlokardhena prabhakshyami. In half the slok I will tell you. What? जदुक्तम ग्रंथ कोटि भी, कोटि कोटि ग्रंथ में जो लिखा हुआ है, बोला हुआ है, वो ये अर्ध श्लोक में मैं व्याख्यान करना चाहता हूँ. What is that? ब्रह्म सत्यम जगन मिथ्या जीव ब्रह्मैव नापरः. The central message of Shankaracharya, the central message of our entire Shastras, entire knowledge of Hinduism. This half verse. Brahman, God, is true. Is Jagat is false. What do you see around? Not true. Now, when you see the world around us, how do you say that it does not exist? You are seeing the world, I am seeing you. How do I say you do not exist? I have direct realization is the praman, there is the proof. I see the sun, there is the proof that sun exists. While I see the sun, I cannot say sun does not exist. So Jagan Mithya does not say that world does not exist. Jagan Mithya says the world does not exist the way I take it to be. World exists, but world does not exist as it is forever. It changes. Everything is changeable. World does not exist as it is forever. It is continuously changing. Pratikshana parivartanshil. That which is continuously changing is not shashvat, is not eternal. That has been given in this message. Whereas God is changeless. He does not change. God never changes. He is unchangeable. Whereas the world, it changes means what it appears now will appear differently later. बदल जाते हैं. The morning sun is not the same as the evening sun. Sun is there, but sun changes, its appearance changes. You see someone very young, very attractive. After some time, the same person becomes old, does not attractive anymore. He changes, not permanent. Whereas God never changes. God is same. It was, it is, and it will be there. He is telling that God is unchangeable, whereas the world is changeable. That's why it's called mithya. And there are three things: God, soul, and nature. This prakriti, this nature, this world, it is changeable, and God is unchangeable. In between this God and nature, where do I exist? Where do I belong? One is God, another is world. God is permanent, world is transitory. In between, what is my position? Shankaracharya says, Jiva Brahmaiva Naparaha. I belong to God, I do not belong to the world. I am also changeless. I am not a changeable personality. You are whatever you are. You are the same when you are young, you are now, and when you become old. Your body changes, you do not change. आपका शरीर बदलते हैं, लेकिन आपको बदलाव नहीं है. So your personality, yourself is unchangeable, and that is no different from God. That is divine, that is changeless. Now, being a part and parcel of God, what we are after is to realize that God, to see that God, which is changeless. That is the journey. So that God cannot be found in this world, He has hidden. So when we negate the world, ultimately what remains, that is God. That is the usual journey. Here Sri Ramakrishna has given an important message, that the usual traditional search was to negate the world to arrive at God. But when you negate the world and arrive at God, then you find that God is present within this creation. That is the wonderful conclusion we find. By negating the world, we arrive at God, and when we return, we find that everything is permeated with God. That is the wonderful realization Sri Ramakrishna is talking here. The Upanishads say, Ishavasya midam sarvam jatkincha jagatyam jagat. God is permeated everywhere around us in this visible world. So we must have that holistic view, holistic attitude in life, that nothing is corrupt, nothing is sinful, everything is a manifestation of divine. Some in a black form, some in a white form. Nevertheless, everything is divine. Seeing the quality of the divinity, we have to decide with whom we should associate, with whom we should distance. It's a wonderful theory. Everything is divine, but the divine has a variation. Whatever is conditioned for us, whatever is beneficial for us, that should be associated with, and what is detrimental for us should be avoided, knowing that it is also a form of the divine. So that should be the attitude, a holistic attitude of life. You see everywhere divine, knowing that I am a part of God, I am not part of the world. Now in this God, soul and nature, this creation is matter, inert. It does not have intelligence. As God is Chaitanya, intelligence. So the God and creation join hands together to make this wonderful world. Matter and energy must go together to make the creation. You see the electric lamp. The bulb is inert, is matter. It doesn't have energy. The energy is the electricity, bijli. But bijli cannot function unless there is a matter in between. बिजली को प्रकाश करने के लिए एक माध्यम चाहिए, मैटर चाहिए. Matter and energy must join together to make a creation. So God and creation must join hand in hand to make this wonderful visible world. So seeing this combination, you must know the conscious part is God and the inert part is creation. We are not inert, we are conscious. We are part and parcel of the divine. And our job, goal is to realize our divinity. We have not been able to realize our divinity. We are realizing that we are inert, हम मरने वाला आदमी है. Everybody is afraid of death. We cannot die. This body will perish, but not we. We are eternal. We are bliss absolute. The moment we realize our own identity, we become overwhelmed with joy, unending joy. And joy has 3 dimensions. It never ends, it never stops, and never mixed with any grief. Just imagine that condition when you have realized your divinity, you are full with joy, you are radiating with joy, and are distributing joy all around. That's what we are born. That is the real goal of our life. So Ramakrishna has come to take us away to this golden experience, to realize the joy in this very life. Now here he says that after one person has realized God within, then what he sees? Then he sees that same God is permeated everywhere. There's a great saint whose name was Kach. Kacha had been immersed in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. When his mind was coming down to this relative plane, someone asked him, "What do you see now?" आपको क्या दिखाई पड़ रहा है? Kach replied, "I see that the universe is soaked, as it were, in God. Everything is filled with God. It is God alone who has become all that I see. I do not know what to accept and what to reject. Everything is divine." ये बात हमें याद रखना चाहिए. Sometimes our mind becomes vitiated. We see something wrong around and we think, why so much of atrocity should be around? We must correct our vision. कच्छ देव निर्विकल्प समाधि में थे. जब समाधि छूटी तब एक ने पूछा, आप इस समय क्या देख रहे हो? कच्छदेव ने कहा, मैं देख रहा हूँ संसार मानो उनसे मिला हुआ है. ईश्वर से संसार मिला हुआ है. मैं देख रहा हूँ वे ही पूर्ण है. जो कुछ देख रहा हूँ सब वे ही हुए हैं. इसमें से क्या छोड़ूं और क्या पकड़ूं कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. God has permeated everything. He has become everything around us. Nothing is other than God. So when you have this holistic view, then everything appears as divine and we also become divine. And we realize God has become everything. We gave you the example of bale fruit. The bale fruit consists of the shell and the seeds and the kernel. एक खोपड़ा होता है, बीज होता है और उसमें उसका सांस होता है. Everything together is the bale. You cannot give up anything. The world is everything complete. Both the matter and energy. This electric bulb is not only a bulb. The bulb and the electricity together combined, then only it gives the form of an illumination. In order that the world should shine, it must have an material aspect and also a spiritual aspect. Both must join. Matter and spirit, bulb and electricity, then only it makes an appearance. So God is present within us, within this creation, and if you delete the creation, then God is not assessed in its totality. That's what God says. that everything in total is God, nothing to be shunned. किसी को छोड़ देने से भगवान को नहीं मिलेगा, सबको लेकर भगवान है. He has become everything. God has become everything in totality. That should be our approach. We must find God in everything in our reality. Then our attitude towards the world changes. We do not see any vice, we do not see any wrong around us. Everyone around us is divine. Our attitude changes. Now one may say, there are ill people around us. If we take everything divine, isn't there a chance of being cheated? That's what has been said. Though everything around us is divine, we must be differential in our reaction. We must not be a fool. God appears in front of us in various forms. Sri Ramakrishna gives an example. God is present in a tiger and also in a flower. We cannot accept both in the same spirit. We should make a distance from tiger and closeness to the flower. So our reaction, our appearance, our interaction with the world will change with our perception, with our wit. But there is no condemnation. Even a sinner, a wicked person, also has divinity within. So there is no scope of condemnation. किसी को घृणा नहीं करना, सबके भीतर भगवान विराजमान है, काला में भी है, सफ़ेद में भी है. सफ़ेद को साथ रहना, काला से दूर रहना, लेकिन किसी को कोसना नहीं. Do not condemn or curse anyone. God is present everywhere in a variable way. That makes a totality of the creation. Everything cannot be white. That doesn't make a creation. There must be white and black combination. We have to accept the white and reject the black. But with the same attitude, same view, that God has become everything. So our goal of life is to see God within this creation by changing our attitude, changing our outlook. When you see God with this attitude and treat everyone around us as divine, then God finally appears as a visible form. Then the joy becomes without any end. Here it has been said that God in His absolute form doesn't have any form, it becomes formless, nirakar. In reality, in creation, it is an akar, is visible. In principle, God is not visible, it is infinity. Infinity doesn't have any shape. That's called nirakar, formless. God has two dimensions. One is formless and is with form. Nirakar and दूसरा साकार. So कबीर दास ने कहा था, निर्गुण मेरा बाप, सगुण माताहारी, काको निंदो काको बंदो, दोनों पल्ला भारी. God in His formless aspect is also acceptable. God with form in this creation, it is also acceptable. Creation is God with form, not other than God. And when you transcend this creation in the nirakar form, formless, that is also God. So both are manifestations of God in two different ways. So the solution is, after realization of God in both the forms, one should come back to this reality, to the relative plane, and worship God in the best possible way. The ideal is said in Hanumanji. Hanumanji was a follower of Ramachandra. He realized that Ramachandra is the ultimate God. He doesn't have a form. Having realized that, he came back to this world and behaved like a servant of Ramchandra, knowing fully well that he is serving someone who is also having a formless aspect. Hanumanji's attitude should be imbibed, where he says, Deha buddhya dasho asmi, jiva buddhya tadanshakaha, atma buddha tavai baham iti me nishchita mutihi. Hanumanji says, when I feel that I have a body, I am conscious of this body, then I know that I am his servant. God is my master, I am his servant. Deha buddha, when I think I have a body. Jiva buddha tadanshaka, when I transcend my body consciousness, then I know I am a part and parcel of God. Tad anshakaha. Atma buddha tavai maham. When I know that I am the Atman, then I know I am God are no different. Tavai baham, I am one with God. So our realization should be threefold. When we realize our identity with God, then we are no different. When we realize that I am a part and he is a whole, then part-parcel relation. And when we realize that I have a body consciousness, then I am his servant, I am his son, I am very close to God. With this attitude, we must develop a divine, holistic view of life. Whatever we may be doing, we must remember that we are divine. We are children of God. We are here to realize that wonderful bliss for which we have the birthright. It is our heritage. We are children of the divine, children of bliss. We have every right to enjoy that bliss in every moment of our life. So one part of our consciousness should be directed to that thought that I am divine, I am bliss absolute, I must not forget my divinity. Whatever situation we are in, let us face it without forgetting that we are divine. God is with us. We cannot be separated from God. Jiva brahmaiva na paraha. We ourselves and God are inseparable, cannot be separated. We are not belong to this inert world. World is perishable, but not I. God is imperishable. I am imperishable. I will never die. This body may perish, but I will never exist. When we are convinced of our divine heritage, then our life becomes a different way of existence. We become ever happy, ever joyful. We have nothing to lose. We are here, we were here, and be here forever. There is no death, there is no loss. We are ever connected with joy. That is the goal of life, and we must constantly strive to realize that goal in every moment of our life. We will continue further in our next Sunday class. Niranjanam nityam ananta rupam bhaktanukampadhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti शांति शांति हरि ओम तत्सत् श्री रामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। If you have any question, you can send me over email. We close now with the chanting of the Lord. Please join with me. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Thank you.